Hey y'all, Donnie Keith here, aka Auntie Peaches from the Aunties Radio Show, also on The Voice of Reason. I'm here to say that ever since my man started taking A game, he's been on top of his A game. When I say A game, I mean his A game. He's more focused. He's definitely working out more. His attitude is better. And he's not complaining of all over body aches due to poor blood circulation because A-Game provides great blood circulation, if you know what I mean, ladies. That blood circulation. Sometimes I have to hide the A-Game in the bushes when I'm out walking the dog just because I want some sleep, if you know what I mean, ladies. Stay on top of your A-Game, fellas. Get your A-Game.
Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody, let me sit back a little bit. Hey everybody, how we doing? Hope we doing well. We headed on into the weekend. How is everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is doing well. So we got an interesting thing to cover today. Why black men are leaving black women alone, or why they're finally walking away in more numbers than black women want to think. And they want to say that they don't really care, that they're not really bothered by this. Thank you, Too Tall, and thank you for earlier's contribution as well. Thank you so much, and happy Friday to you too. Hey, Mogul. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, 39 Dina. Thank you all for kicking off the contributions early. I really appreciate it. The black men are finally starting to, you know what? We don't have to do this. And on the one hand, it's a good thing because I would never encourage black men to stay in places and stay in relationships where they are not valued, where they are not respected, where nothing about what they do, what they have, what they offer, who they are is looked upon favorably or treated well. I would never encourage that. Would never encourage it. But at the same time, there is a doom in this that some of us don't really see. I don't see a lot of conversation about some of the stuff that I see happening. But what we're going to do is we're going to kick this off with the words of our sister Shahrazad Ali. And shout out to I Am Courtney Michelle, who had her on recently as well. Awesome interview. Awesome ladies. We're going to kick off with a very short clip of Sister Ali. And I'm going to run that clip twice. And then we're gonna get down into it. So let me go ahead. Let me share this screen really quickly. And we're gonna play the sister's clip. Here we go.
My position is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in our black family structure. Now, of course, there are many black people who consider those fighting words because as black women, we have never been subject to the kind of examination that our men have been subject to since we have been here. We have been somewhat protected and shielded from any kind of critiquing about our personal behavior, whereas our men have always been up for examination.
And we have been given the false compliment.
My position is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in our black family structure. Now, of course, there are many black people who consider those fighting words because as black women, we have never been subject to the kind of examination that our men have been subject to since we have been here. We have been somewhat protected and shielded from any kind of critiquing about our personal behavior, whereas our men have always been up for examination.
And we have been given the...
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to come back to you. What the sister had to say in that 36 seconds was summed up beautifully. Thank you, jokers that keep cooking. We need you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Bobby Wright. So hopefully the great sister Ali can bless your channel soon with a conversation. That'll be one for the books. Have a great weekend. Peace and hair grease. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can have that conversation on this channel. So much said in such a short 36 seconds. And you know that I agree with her because what she's saying is true. Absolutely true. She said it then, she says it now because it's still true. That had to be the early 90s. 89, 90, 91, something like that. The disrespect and the rebellion to black male leadership has really been the undergirding of what we see now as black men walking away, whether they're doing that under a banner such as MGTOW, such as SYSBM, such as Passport Bros, or any of those banners, whether they're doing it under a banner or whether they just doing it in their personal life because that is what they have come to understand is best for them. Black men are in larger and larger groups voting with their feet. And the saddest part about all of this, black women, is that he's not doing this out of a hatred for you. He really not. And we can understand that it has not been a hatred for black women because as the sister stated, black women have been somewhat shielded from examination, which is why so many of you come to my channel, you come to other channels like mine. Thank you, DDEC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then a lot of you black women come to my channel. You come to Danika's channel. I see you in the comment section. You go to Pink Book's channel. She give you the pen of shame. You go to Chantel's channel, a younger woman that's trying to steer other young women in the right direction because she understood she had to learn that the way she was going was not the right direction. You go to Shay Shardae's channel. You go to, I don't know if you frequent I Am Courtney Michelle's channel that much, but you go around, you make your rounds into these channels, into these comment sections, into these chat boxes, and you whine and you cry about why is everybody bashing black women? Why is everybody talking bad about black women? Yeah, DD's channel, why are you talking bad about black women? Why don't you say nothing good about black women? Why don't you try to help black women? We've been trying to help black women. We've been trying to help black women because I personally, and I can bet you the lionesses in here and the lions in here as well, have never heard a piece of constructive criticism that didn't help. Put a 1 in the chat if the constructive criticism that you have had in your life, whether you like the taste of that medicine or not, has actually helped you in some way, shape, or form. Because I have had people who love me and people who was casual associates give me constructive criticism, and sometimes it was like, oh, okay, and sometimes it bit you. Sometimes it bit you. And you had to take that bite. Go say ow if it hurts you. Rub it and say ow and then work on it. And the reason why I say we understand that black men have loved black women through all of the BS is because your BS was allowed to escalate to the point where black men are saying, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Because he tried to look over the collective shortcoming, tried to look over the collective fault, tried to ascribe your ill behavior, your bad attitudes to the trauma that the collective of black people had gone through since slavery, since Jim Crow, enduring systemic racism, etc., etc., etc. And said, okay, the black woman, she traumatized. You know, it's things going on with her as well. You know, we got our issues as black men, but we can't overlook the issues of black women as well. They got things that they are working on. So we're going to try to love them through that. And that didn't work. We tried the scalpel. Now we got the sledgehammer. I don't want to hear no whining. We tried the nice way. We tried to feed you the food and say, open your mouth, got the airplane coming. We tried to feed you the truth. Like that. Come on, open your mouth. You know, like you do a baby that's first learning how to really eat their little food. Thank you, my Ty. So thank you for what you do. Your content is helping me and realize they are not crazy. Of course, and thank you so much. Tried to feed you, do the airplane. I like my Yankee beans. Tried to do that. And you, okay. Keep on. Keep on. Now, we just shoving it in your mouth. You going to take this medicine. You're going to take this medicine. You're going to eat your food. Tired of playing nice with you now. Said, haha, call me Nehemia. Thank you so much, Nehemia. And thank you when you like to know, said we really tried, but nope, not anymore. Thank you, Theo John said, thank you, Crimson. Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much, beloved. This is what we tried. Black men tried. Sister Shahrazad Ali was the first one to come with a little harder joke than that. She wasn't, I like my Yankee. She was like, no, open your mouth. Open your mouth. Take this medicine because you need it. And you hated her for it. You hated her for that. She got a lot of flack. She stood in the gap for a long time, Sister Shahrazad Ali did. She stood in the gap. She took them hits like a lioness. She did. Until it was time for her to go be a lioness with her family. To raise her family and be married. You know, I don't have time. Y'all not going to stress me out. I have to now go do what a lioness do. I got children to raise. I got a husband to look after. She got grandchildren now. Nobody wanted to stand with the sister. Some of you outright came against her, and some of you was too cowardly to stand next to her. Now black women want to come cry about why you talking bad about black women. Y'all doing bad. You're down bad. By the way, put a 2 in the chat if you know where that comes from. I like my Yankee. It comes from a TV show. Put a 2. Put the TV show in the chat if you know. But anyway. You're down bad. Thank you, Cool Gent. Said, peace, love, Kendra. Proverbs 2:1. Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. Exactly. Exactly. There's a similar verse in the Quran that basically says that the reminders are good for the believer. Real specific. Thank you, APB. Said they attacked Sister Ali, but not what she said. They couldn't come against what she said because it was the bald-faced truth. It was the truth 30 years ago, and it's true now. Unfortunately, black women have only gotten worse. Your loyalty has gone to the system and zaddy. Black female behavior has gone unchecked because the men tried to love you through it. Now it's at critical mass. And black men tried to love you through it because they love you, number one. And number two, up until recent years, we did not know why you were doing what you were doing. See, thought you was just traumatized. No. That may have been right for the earlier generations, but not y'all now. See, now we understand it. We understand things like biology, culture, and environment. We understand things like a lost value system. We understand now that you don't have no loyalty to the community. We understand now that you don't have any love for the community. We understand that now. And the more that become apparent, the more black men are saying, I can't. I want to save you. Because men want to do what? Problem solve. But the issue, we're going to talk about the cultural issue right now. Thank you, Pharaoh. Said pro-black brothers saying enough is enough. I know Nation of Islam brothers who became passport bros. ABWs did damage to black relationships. They did. There have been a couple of pro-black or pan-Africanists that are giving black women a real side eye. And one of the more popular ones is actually Dr. Umar Johnson. Because despite whatever else you want to say about him or whatever, he has always been a proponent of saying, you know what I'm saying, no, we can get it together. We got to have a community, blah, 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 blah. And you know that last interview that he did with Cynthia G on Fox Soulless, he gave a real big side eye. Like, this is what black women are thinking? This is what they're thinking? You know he always talking about Pan-Africanism and Marcus Garvey and all of that. You know that's what he's saying. He's always said that. But black women have, by and large, made that disrespect and that rebellion to black male leadership, black male masculinity, black manhood, and everything else that had to do with black men into normalized dysfunction. Black women normalized all of these cultural dysfunction. Black women normalize fighting. I just watched a clip just now, a little earlier today. Black women all in Walmart just fighting, just a brawl. Like, what are y'all doing? What kind of image are y'all portraying out here in these streets? You're normalized in the culture the misandry, the horrific attitude, not even just an attitude that you have towards men, but y'all got a bad attitude outlook on life, period. Your attitude is bad. Negative outlook on life. Negative outlook on relationships. Negative outlook on men. Negative outlook on family. Negative outlook on marriage. Negative outlook on children. Negative outlook on community. You just got a negative outlook to everything that would prove to be positive for black people. Thank you, Child of Light. Say you've got married black men talking greasy about SYSBM just because they found their wife don't mean the problem doesn't still persist. Exactly. And I agree with you. We've normalized, black women have normalized this stuff. This is just par for the course now. It's not even something rare. It's par for the course. And that's the wider scale. Black men are walking away from y'all in relationships because the vast majority of you, because of these things that you've normalized culturally, you don't see nothing wrong with. You know, I watched I couldn't even stomach it. I watched a little bit of the Lapeef Network show last night. Shout out to the Lapeef Network. And they had new panelists on there. They had Just Pearly Things. They had Coach K, and they had a few other women that I hadn't seen before. And I got to tell you that black women did not make a good representation of us. And the sad part about it is I wasn't expecting them to. I wasn't expecting them to. I wasn't expecting a good representation of black female mindset. And you basically had them white girls up there, and I know what it was about. I know why they were there. I know why they were there. We're not going to get into it. But the black women on that panel, not every last one of them, but the black women on that panel, generally speaking, was getting laughed at. Anybody who saw it know what I'm talking about. Y'all was getting clowned on that panel. Y'all was getting snickered at, snickering, giggling, chuckling at your asinine answers to simple questions. Because it betrayed your thought about you as women and about your men, black men. You're getting clowned again. I had to turn it off because I just couldn't take it. I just shook my head. I didn't watch it all at all. I watched more towards the beginning, middle sort of situation. Not understanding what's going on. The question was asked, should you have a rotation of men or should you just date one man at a time? And if he's not proper, you just move on to a different man. Most of the black women on that panel said have a rotation. Oh, as long as you don't have sex with them. If y'all don't knock that off. Thank you, AP Beats. Said real talk, sis. My dad used to say no when they're laughing with you and when they're laughing at you. Exactly. And black women don't know that. Getting triggered because you be wanting white women to validate your femininity. Getting triggered because of all of the cackling and the giggling that was actually going on at y'all expense. So if you felt like it was at your expense, let me resolve that mystery for you. It was. She was laughing at you. Just Pearly Things was laughing at y'all. To your face. To your face. Thank you, GOT fanboy. Said, why were there white face guests there? You think? Sorry, I didn't watch it. By the way, I enjoy your work. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get into that because this isn't really what this show is about. I'm just using it as an example. Thank you, Norrin. Thank you so much.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Norrin. I'm just using it as an example of the things that black women have normalized in black female culture. And the whole world see how backwards it is, except for you. After these messages, we'll be right back.
See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I see me. There's a seat right here. I can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She be killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting them socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.
Before you go get your milk and go get put y'all socks on, first thing you got to do before you do all of that is get your A. Do that belong on the blooper reel? Get your A game, your A game, your A game. We got to have a blooper. What is this? Once a year? We got to do it. Okay. So before we continue on, we just got to stop and we've got to help our brothers get on their A game in a natural, healthy way, because A game does not contain any animal byproducts, no artificial ingredients at all. It is only 21 wonderful herbs. It lasts such a long time that you only need to take one every 72 hours for maximum performance, actually. Just drink a bunch of water, take your A game, and then go out there and meet every challenge that you have to meet as a man, because A game is going to support your vitality. It's going to support your energy. It's going to support your strength. And of course, it's going to support your libido as well. And it does all of this by addressing the blood flow in your body, so that you actually have all of the energy that you need and the mental focus to actually do everything that you have to do. Okay, because there are a lot of brothers out here with a lot of labor intensive jobs, or jobs that call for a lot of mental focus. They really have to think and problem solve all day, and that can fatigue you mentally. And so A game actually helps you to do that as well. Okay, so this is just a perfect way for men to really jumpstart their health journey and just looking at their overall health and looking after it. And ladies, I know that you have men in your life that you want them on their A game also. So the way that you do that is you click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and don't forget to get your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 so you can get a game ASAP, okay? All right, and thank you for the super chats. Thank you, Taurus, at What's Women Thought Process for a sneaky link while looking for a relationship. Thank you, Black Wizard, said you need to return to Lapeef to rise the vibration of the conversation. You're the medicine the community needs. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ezra, said we should watch Goodbye Uncle Tom. And if we see ourselves today, they are turning us into slaves. You know what? My father made me watch that movie years and years and years ago. And so I've seen Goodbye Uncle Tom. That's interesting. That's an interesting one right there. But I also owe y'all bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta because we got 379 likes. So I want to get the other 500 people to hit the like button as well, because that helps the channel, supports it as well. It supports it in the algorithm so that YouTube can sort of disperse the information to people who might want to watch this type of content. So thank you so much for hitting the like button as well. But on an interpersonal level, Black men are getting fed up because when they're looking for wives, all they finding is a bunch of hoes and disingenuous women and women that are not fit. They're actually not fit emotionally. They are not fit mentally. They are not fit physically. They are not fit. Their mindset is not fit for family building or legacy building or serious relationships or marriages. Because the majority of you are unable to pass a regular old brother's vetting system. Because we gave brothers a vetting system, did we not? We gave brothers a vetting system. And what was the vetting system that we showed to brothers? We showed brothers this right here. We call this the 4 T's. For those of you who are new, you may or may not have seen this chart. But today, we gonna go over it. The first T that y'all can't pass is time. Now, I'm going to read this to you that's on the chart, and then we're going to get into it. Most men in today's society understand that he has to invest the intangible and non-renewable resource of time to get to know a woman. This is any woman. He's determining if the reciprocity he receives benefits him moving forward. Now, I'm not going to continue. We're going to come back with time. Thank you, Nevac said, what happened to the soft girl era? Is it over already? It was dead in the water. It was DOA. It was DOA. Wasn't nobody buying it. They just stopped talking about it. past the time because you're ultimate time wasters. Thank you once again, Norrin, so much, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much once again. Complex, you said you're doing a robot. Okay, you're ultimate time wasters because you always thinking about finessing a man and playing with his time. Because here's one of the ways that you do it. You're dishonest in ways that waste all his time and his energy. Because one of the things that y'all like to do is y'all like to play like you want what he wants. And this can extend into years and children. You fake like you want what he want out of life. You're faking like you can get on his purpose with him. You're fake like you're going to support the vision that he explained to you. You're fake like you're gonna legacy build with him. The most recent example of that black women did not like me talking about was Tia Mowry. Because Tia got all these different videos now over her social media after announcing a divorce from her husband, Corey. Now she just a hot girl. She said, I'm choosing love and I'm choosing me and I'm happy. You happy to break a relationship that was 22 years, 14 years of them married and 2 children. And you happy now? You happy now? Even if you wanted the divorce, which we know that you did because you went to go file it. I've watched women go through divorce. I've watched them do it. Thank you, Datorian. I've watched women go through divorces with men because they were in relationships that just was tearing both of them up. Both the man and the woman was being just torn to shreds because they were not good for each other. They just wasn't good for each other. They were just toxic when they got together. And it just wasn't no good situation for either of them. And I've watched these women initiate or ask for a divorce and get it. Want it out. The man wanted out. They wanted out. And you know what happened to them women? Even though they wanted the relationship, and it was actually better in some of these cases that the relationship dissolved, because in rare cases it is better, which is why divorce is even optional at all. She still grieved it. She still grieved it. These women, these couple of women, I got a couple in mind. They grieved it. They wasn't happy. They wasn't happy in the relationship, but it was still a grieving process that a relationship that they had spent time in was over. They grieved it. They didn't hit the street. They didn't go out and try to have a hot girl summer. They wasn't running around talking about, I'm a new me, No. You know what them women did? They went somewhere to sit down and go heal and figure out why that relationship didn't work and what part they played in it not working. I watched them. And they would say things like, if I ever get married again, I don't want to commit the same problems. I don't want to commit the same mistake another time that I've done this time, because I had culpability in the failure of that relationship. You understand? Thank you, Brian Watts. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because that was real life. I watched them women have to heal from that. I've even watched a situation where she went back after some time apart and apologized to her ex-husband. They didn't get married again, but she apologized to her ex-husband. I did this, I did this, I did this, and I was wrong. I was wrong. And do you know what she said that man said back to her? First of all, he was floored that she did it. And number two, he gave her closure too. I was wrong too. I was doing this to you and I was doing that to you, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And they was able to move on in their lives separately. They was able to do it. That's what women do when they actually was trying to be married. And it just didn't work. But see, Tia is a prime example of what we're talking about right now. Thank you, J. Rock. Alan Roger Curry said in one of his books about 70% of women in this day and time are either wholesome pretenders or manipulative time wasters. And unfortunately, and shout out to Alan Roger Curry, unfortunately, you know, I mean, you can play with the number of it, but he got the right idea. She running around here, you know, she smiling and happy and doing TikTok dance challenges. And nobody wanted me to say she just want to go out there and hit the street because she thinks she missed something. When she didn't miss nothing but a bunch of trauma and a bunch of heartache and a bunch of foolishness. That's all she bypassed. All she bypassed was a bunch of foolishness. And should be happy that she bypassed that. She gonna find out though. She gonna find it out. She gonna find out that the grass was certainly not greener on the other side. What she gonna realize is that once she hopped that fence, she gonna realize it's astroturf. This is astroturf. And every time you fall, you gonna scrape your knee and it's gonna hurt real bad because it's astroturf, okay? It's not even grass. It's dead. It's not even alive. She about to find out. Next thing. We gonna come back. Next thing that you can't deal with as black women and these black men are walking away, they tired of you not being able to pass the toll. Most men in today's society understand there is a tangible or intangible cost to pay if he wants to engage with a woman. The cost is often greater than money and can include sacrifices of his being or possessions. See, toll is the money. It's the money. And y'all are always trying to gank a dude out of his money. Thank you, G.A. Powerade. So I'm dead at black women getting out of relationships and marriages to do TikTok dance challenges. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing. Thank you, Welt Beast. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Your insight is always on point, given to you by the Most High. Make sure you don't stop dropping gems. And thank you so much. Your money pit. You know what a money pit is? Y'all know what a money pit is. We've all had our encounters with some kind of money pit. I used to have an old car. Thank you once again, Norin. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you. always trying to finesse, to steal, to beg, or to otherwise usurp a man's money. We're going to talk about the money first, and then we're going to talk about the other things that you extract from him. Stealing a man's resources. You either begging for it, trying to manipulate him for it, or you just flat out, you take him to the court, you take him for child support, you take him for alimony, you take him for, you just extort him. It's extortion. You have no intention of returning on that investment at all. In fact, the more he give you of it, the greedier you get. The greedier you get. I'll give you a perfect example. We talked about her yesterday. Shaniqua Jackson, 50 Cent's his eldest son, the mother of his eldest son. What did she do? Off the records, off the books, 50 Cent, just because he was a man and that boy's father, it didn't matter that he wasn't with her no more. That was not relevant in his mind. Off the books, he was giving her $25,000 a month. That's like $300,000 a year, more or less. Am I right? Am I right? Is my math mathing, y'all? You know I'm a little fuzzy on the numbers. Is the math mathing? 25K every month. That puts you around about $300,000 a year, do it not? He was giving that woman $25K every month. No court order. He ain't had a white man in his business or none of that. He knew that boy was his. He looked just like him. He didn't have no question in his mind that that boy belonged to him. So it wasn't no problem, because on $25K, you know who gonna live good? Not just his son, but the mother and the child that wasn't his about to live real good. And if she had any kind of sense, she'd have dropped all of that foolishness and bitterness and greed. And you know what she would have done to learn how to operate with that kind of money? Because if you ain't never had that kind of money, if you have never been in a six-figure bracket annually for your income before, thank you, Art Brantley, and you didn't work for that money, you didn't work your way up to that, you got to figure out how to handle the money. It come with a different mindset and everything. Because you don't know just what to do. If you've been broke your whole life, you don't know what to do with a sudden influx of money every month like that, and it's consistent. You know who she could have asked had she not been full of foolishness? She could have asked 50. 50, help me. You giving me this money, but I don't know what to do with it. And I want to make sure that our children, our son, don't want for nothing. I want to do right by the money that you're giving me. I want to do right. Help me with this money. Because I don't know how to spend it. I don't know what to do with taxes. I don't know what to do with none of it. I don't know how to invest it. I don't know really what to do with it. It's just here. It's just here. Next time them taxes come around, about to be a monster. Because you ain't making $35,000 no more with a W-2, and you can just put it in turbo. Well, it wasn't TurboTax back then, but you know what I mean. You can't take it to H&R Jackson Hewitt with your W-2 and get your little return. It's different now, way different. But she could do that. And as a matter of fact, what she did was, from every article I read, what she did was she got greedy, took him to court, then hoping she was going to get $50K or something more than what he was actually given. And it was the court that said, oh, no. $6,700 is good enough for you. He only got one child with you. He ain't got 4 or 5 kids with you. He got one boy with you. $6,700 is quite enough. That's 6 figures every year. Almost. You close. About 80,000. And that's just on the money tip. What else do black women extract from men? They try to extract their sanity from them. They extract their spirit out of them to attempt to break. That's the toll that he paying now. And see, it go beyond the money. Now you taxing, you vexing my spirit now. Every time I talk to you, every time I be around you, it's something crazy happening with you. You chaotic, you out of order. I can't say nothing to you and all that kind of stuff. No. See, you're not going to do me like that. You're not going to do me like that. The cost is too high to deal with you. It's too high monetarily. It's too high emotionally. It's too high spiritually. It's too high intellectually. Half of you can't hold a conversation decent. His brain cells just fall out his ears listening to you. And I know they do, because listening to your own line is ridiculous. Listening to your own line is ridiculous. Y'all say some of the stupidest stuff. I'll be sitting there about to just flip. Just brain just turn over. Because you're stupid. You be really thinking that you really saying something. You be really thinking y'all be eating. And you don't. It's silly. So he trying to have a deeper conversation with you about, what's going on and stuff like that. He figure you probably don't know too much about politics and this, that, and the third. But, just general, what's your outlook? Generally, what do you think about anything? And all your answers, he can find them on Instagram and through a meme. Everything you think about the world can be summed up in an Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube meme. Trouble. You a mountain of trouble. Let me read it. Most men in today's society understand that a woman's very nature is chaotic for the good or the bad, and is void of system, order, and structure, which determines if the trouble she has accumulated would result in a burden on him. Now, this is important because men know that every woman, no matter where she at in the world, or what culture she come from, or what kind of lioness she is, the men in here can verify. Don't you know she gonna be some kind of trouble? All men know this. Put a 1 in the chat if you a man and you know that no matter where you get this woman from, she gonna be some kind of trouble. She gonna have some kind of trouble you gonna have to problem solve for. Now, the determining factor of this is how much trouble and what the nature of this trouble is. How much chaos and what is the nature of that chaos? Can it be resolved by him specifically? Because you may have some things that can be resolved, but whether or not he has the tools to give you, or he has the patience to deal with you, depending upon what kind of trouble and what this all is about, determines whether or not he gonna engage with you in this manner. And most of y'all got way too much. And this is where a lot of black women trouble come from. The reason why a lot of black men have problems in the trouble area with black women isn't really because the trouble she got can't be resolved. I'm going to tell you what the issue is. The issue is that the trouble that she gotta be resolved by her. What I mean by that is she gotta have a willingness and an understanding. The first thing she gotta understand is that she need help and she is in trouble. The second thing she gotta have is a willingness to change that situation around and help herself. See, God bless a child got his own, and can't nobody help you more than you willing to help yourself. That's why I said a few days ago, the best thing a lioness can have is a willing spirit. Got to have a willing spirit, because you're going to have some type of trouble. But you got to be willing to work with him, not against him. Especially if he's the kind of man that understands what your trouble is, and he can give you guidance and instruction on how to resolve the trouble. Okay? But you got trouble that you want him to resolve that you don't take no responsibility for. You don't take no responsibility. He got to fix everything that you messed up upon meeting him. You just put it all on his plate and tell him to fix it. No, ma'am. I'm going to need you to roll your sleeves up. Put your hands together like Birdman. Okay? And I'm going to need you to get your hands dirty in your own problems. That's what I'm going to need you to do. Because if he give you the tools, you the one got to do the work. He can't do it. I don't care I don't care what his leadership look like. I don't care how much system order and structure he lay down. I don't care what kind of leader he is. He can be the best leader that God ever put in a man. If you do not utilize the tools and you don't do no work, it ain't about to get fixed no how. It ain't about to get fixed no how. And he just gonna look at you. Like, how many times I done pushed the toolbox to you. Stop pushing it back, because I don't have these kinds of issues. You do. I can solve my own problems. You the one need the problem solving. Refuse to do any work of healing or learning the method of healing. You don't want to do that. And y'all definitely don't pass threat. Threat. Most men understand that because of current biological, cultural, and environmental circumstances, all women in today's society pose a potential threat as well as an automatic threat to him, whether they intend to or not. And see, the part where we talking about intend to or not is the environment. See, you can do what Tia did, irreconcilable differences. We just irreconcilable differences. We ain't gonna make it. The law give you that. Thank you, Miss Danica. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And how you doing, sis? Thank you so much, sweetheart. Threat. You're nothing but threat in his life. You threaten his money. You threaten his livelihood. You threaten his legacy. You threaten his reputation. You threaten his life. And you seek to undermine his value system or in some way make him compromise his value system. You a threat. This is why they're walking away. Because this is all the cultural status quo of how black women approach black men and everything associated with being women of class, of integrity, of honor, of self-respect, and respect for others. And there's another thing as well that all of this has turned into. Because see, there are men that are saying, let me go to other women and build a legacy. Let me go to other melanated women. Like, we ain't even trying to go to white women. Let me get a woman from South America, a woman from the continent, or a woman from somewhere else. Let me get a melanated woman from another culture, and I'm going to still have my black children and my black family. But I'm going to have it without all of the foolishness. That's one area. But then there's another. These are the black men who get older with no legacy. He has decided that I'm not going to have no woman, no children, no marriage, no nothing. That saves him. It spares him. It spares him. But imagine if 60% of black men did that. Don't go to other women, don't do nothing. They're not going to do anything. We got black men that's going to pass away from this world with no legacy nowhere. Not only not legacy from American black women, but no legacy nowhere. And there are too many intelligent, articulate, talented men with leadership, black men with vision, black men with so much to offer the whole entire world. And men want what? Legacy. Men want legacy. That's why they even talk about it in the first place. That's why they even talk about black women and relationships and the downfall of the family and all of that. That's why there's even a conversation. Because there are so many black men that are just jewels. They just awesome. They just awesome. And they can't find and have decided, you know what? Whatever I gave to the world, I'll give to the world. But I can't pass it on because I can't have no legacy. So whatever I give will be given while I'm alive. And whatever can't be given, it stopped when I'm gone. And I don't know about nobody else, but I find that to be sad. And not sad from the standpoint of blaming the men. It's just a sad state that some men actually find themselves in that state. It's sad that there aren't enough lionesses for him to say, you know what? Let me get one. Let me get one and let me build with her. Young women are going to have to take heed and turn this culture around. Young black women, it's up to you. And I'm saying it is up to you because you're young. You're the next generation. You next up. The generation of black women before you messed everything up for you. I'm sorry, babies. I'm sorry, beloveds. I am sorry. I really am apologetic to you. It's not tongue in cheek. I am. Thank you, James Wingate. So I had a young black woman ask me how she can learn to find good black men. I told her must leave black girl magic and feminism alone. Told her about you and Danica. Okay. And hopefully she tune in and get something from me and the sister. Young women got to turn this around. And you'll have some guidance from women like me, the Crimson Cure, women like Danica Marie, women like Chantel, women like Shay Sade, and all of these ladies with this content that's really trying to be a guidance to what young women should not do and let you know what you should do. Because see, now we're at a point in time and it's critical mass where we can't play ignorant anymore about not knowing what the outcome of these situations and choices are going to be. We actually understand what the choices are, and we understand what the outcomes are as well. I'm actually happy to see that there are young women who have taken a step back, okay, and said, wait a minute, this is not making sense. The way that my mama and grandmama and all, this don't make no sense. I don't necessarily want a life like that. How can I avoid a life like that? Okay. We'll give it to you. The work will begin. You need to work two things in tandem. The first thing that you need to take a look at, I'm going to need y'all to take a look at once again, is the 10 life value system. And what I need you to do, young women, listen up. Get a pen and paper or something like that. I need you to listen up. What you need to do is take a look at these values: spiritual value, health value, family value, appearance value, dwelling value. If you need these things to be thoroughly explained, I have a playlist for the 10 life values that actually explain each one of these things if you are unclear what they actually mean. Mobility, I know a lot of women have trouble with that, so don't be surprised or ashamed if you have trouble understanding the totality of mobility. Education, profession, leisure, and wealth. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a screenshot if you got to take a screenshot. If there are fathers in here that you want your daughter and you want to go over it with the young women in your life, please go ahead and take a screenshot of the 10 life values chart, please. Not only are they listed here as 1 through 10, you'll notice that the first 5 are internal values. These are values that are relegated to the individual, and then there are external values that are meant to be expressed and dealt with externally in the outside world. You'll also see that the 10 life values is represented as a circle, and what that also means is that these are not standalone values, and that each one of them can affect other values in the list as well. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to list down these values, and I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 10 each value. 1, you're not doing well. 10, you're doing the very best that you can. Okay? And sit down and think about these things. This is a quick self-assessment. It's not a deep self-assessment, but I need it to be something that you all can sort of digest right now. Okay? Do that work. After you've done that work, I need you to come here, take a screenshot of this as well. Please take a screenshot of the Valuable Woman series. Please do this. And what I need you to do is, in conjunction with the 10 life values, I want you to look at yourself according to the Valuable Woman series to determine whether or not you have marriage market value, whether it's high or low. So the personal market value is who you are as a person. Okay? That is going to be addressed in the first 5 of the internal values here. When we come back, I want you to assess your belonging market value. That's going to be the reputation that you have, or the viewpoint that people have from the places that you visit often, or that associations and things like that. The store you always go to, the mechanic shop you always go to, or whatever. What do these people, what's the talk around town about you? Then I want you to assess your friends. And I don't want you to assess whether or not you have fun with them or not, or whether they funny, or whether they this and that. I want you to assess whether or not the current crop of friends that you have are able to assist you where you want to go in life, or are these the type of friends that will hinder you from where you want to go in life? Then your sexual market value. I want you to go back to the shows that I've been doing this week that have explained sexual market value to you, there is also a chart here that explains sexual market value. Please take a screenshot. I know that the print is a little small, but please take a screenshot of this and you should be able to, magnify it so that you can read it and see all of this information. Okay? What we have is a woman's sexual market value split up between positive aspects, which are loving, purposeful, and satisfying, and then negative aspects, which are transactional, humiliating, and criminal. This is very important. And last but not least, according to them 4 categories, you need to determine whether or not you, and be honest with yourself, have good marriage market value or bad marriage market value. In other words, would you marry you? Hopefully, y'all was able to get the screenshots that you needed. Do you need the screenshots again? If you need the screenshots again, just run it back on the replay and take the screenshots of the charts. We're going to try to address the text of the SMV chart in the future. So please bear with me and thank you so much for having patience with me. I was hoping that if you took a screenshot, you'd be able to expand it on your own devices. But this is what we got to do as women. So I'm hoping that this was something that somebody could take something from, hopefully. As usual, I always want people to take something positive, something they can use from these shows, from this content. I want to thank everybody for their very generous contributions to this channel through Super Chat, through Cash App, through PayPal. Thank you so much. Everyone who contributed, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your likes. So if you weren't able to like coming in, please give me a like on the way out. Thank you for your commentary. I want to thank my support team, without which we cannot bring you this vital content. And before we go, I want to bring everyone's attention to the petition. We still have this petition going. We're not going to stop with a Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation and a petition against them. We're almost at 8,500 signatures. And I would be more than happy to get to 9,000 by next week if we can do that. Because we're going to hold them accountable for the more than $100 million theft and the misappropriation of money in donated funds that was supposed to come back to the Black community that did not. So if you want to be a part of holding Black Lives Matter accountable, please click the link in the chat, and the link is in the description box to sign, share, and contribute to the petition. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.